Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Battle Through the Heavens Part 246 based on novel. So let's start. Other than Xiao clan, which was the first to decline, the Jiu and Hun clans should be considered the strongest amongst the 8 ancient clans. Ranked behind them were the Yang and Lei clan. The bloodline strength of both clans had not showed any signs of exhausting even after so many years. Hence, the clans were filled with talented individuals. Although they were unable to compare with the Jiu and Hun clans, they were far stronger than the Yao, Shi, and Ling clans could match. Perhaps it was this reason the two clans were not the first to be eliminated by the Hun clan. A soft persimmon was easy to squeeze. Clearly, the Yang and Lei clan were not included in this statement. Of course, after all the easy targets were destroyed, their turn would come sooner or later. The Jiu clan appeared quite lively today. Being visited by the clan heads of the Yang and Lei clans was considered an important matter even to the Jiu clan. Hence, their stance was extremely solemn. It could be considered to have given both clan heads sufficient face. By the time Xiao Yan and Zana had arrived outside the hall, the place was already filled with people. It clearly appeared exceptionally lively. Seated on the left of the leader's seat is the clan head of the Yang clan, Yang Jin. The two of them quietly snuck into the hall. After which, they headed towards a deserted spot. Zana's finger pointed at a middle-aged man towards the left of the chief's seat and softly said. Xiao Yang's eyes looked in the direction where Zana was pointing towards. One could see a bright red-robed middle-aged man seated on a high chair. The man appeared to be in his 40s. He had a somewhat rough appearance. Both of his eyebrows were bright red in color. It appeared as though there were two burning flames. This person's aura is mellow and concealed. He appears just like a cluster of warm devouring flame. It is really quite incredible. However, the feeling he gives me is a little strange. Xiao Yang spoke with a grave expression. From his spiritual perception, the middle-aged man appeared just like a cluster of flame. Moreover, this flame was not hot. Instead, it appeared calm. This was the main reason for Xiao Yang's expression to be grave. The thing that surprised him was that he had actually felt a familiar feeling from within the body of this clan head of the Yang clan. He might only appear to be in his 40s, but he is an old demon who had lived for an unknowingly long time. Zana laughed gently and immediately said, Xiao Yang Ge, the control that this clan head of the Yang clan has over the flame has reached the pinnacle level. According to what father had said, there are 2 types of heavenly flames within his body. One is the ranked 17th Fire Mountain Rock Flame. The other type is the 9 Serene Golden Ancestor Flame ranked 7th on the Heavenly Flame ranking. Oh! The 9 Serene Golden Ancestor Flame has actually also landed in the hands of the Yang clan. Xiao Yang lifted his brow and spoke with a deeper meaning in his voice. In other words, the interior of his body also has emerged heavenly flame. It is a new heavenly flame from merging the 9 Serene Golden Ancestor and the Fire Mountain Rock Flame. Although its might could not be compared with your purifying demonic lotus flame, it is able to fight equally with my Gold Emperor incinerating heavenly flame, Zana smilingly said. The reason Xiao Yang Ge is able to merge heavenly flames is because of your Qi method. However, this clan head of the Yang clan completely relies on his control over the flames to merge the 2 heavenly flames. The difficulty involved is quite great. Xiao Yang's expression was slightly altered. This was the first time that he saw someone being able to not rely on the flame mantra to merge heavenly flames. He clearly understood the difficulty involved. Even with his current strength, it was likely extremely difficult for him to forcefully merge the 2 heavenly flames together by relying solely on his own strength. After all, the erosion properties of the heavenly flames was far too strong. He is indeed worthy of being the clan head of the Yang clan, Xiao Yang sighed softly. He could not help but admire the ability of this Yang Jin. However, Xiao Yang also understood that merging 2 types of heavenly flames should likely be Yang Jin's limit. If another type of heavenly flame was added, he would likely end up incinerating himself unless he reached THFDI class. There was no need to even mention merging 6 types of heavenly flames like Xiao Yang. On the right side of the chief's seat is the clan head of the Lei clan, Lei Ying. His strength was similar to Yang Jin, which was at the 8-star Dosham class. He is also the strongest expert within the Lei clan. Xiao Yan's eyes once again turned towards the other side. It was possible to see the metal tower-like man suddenly sitting up. His skin was a little black. This person was extremely eye-catching. It was as though there was a huge dragon swimming under the skin. A frightening strength was vaguely emitted. It caused the feet of those close to him trembled slightly. This Lei Ying greatly coveted battles. It was rumored that he had once fought with elder Xiao Yan back then. However, he was defeated. Zana laughed softly and said. A surprise flashed across Xiao Yan's eyes. He was naturally unaware of these events that had occurred a long time ago. However, Ancestor Xiao Yan was basically the strongest person in this world back then. Yet, Lei Ying actually dared to fight him. It seemed that rumors of his desire to fight was indeed true. Zana. A figure suddenly snuck in from outside in a suspicious manner while Xiao Yan and Zana were hiding in a corner and chatting away. Xiao Yan let out a low cry towards Zana. The both of them turned their heads and saw that the person was actually the second general of the Black Submerged Army, Jiu Hu, who had entered the Heavenly Tomb with Xiao Yan and the others back then. What is it? Zana glanced at him in a somewhat doubtful manner. Jiu Hu gave Xiao Yan and Zana an embarrassed smile. After which, he spoke with a bitter expression, I am here to gather reinforcement. Xiao Yang Jiu were startled. They looked at Jiu Hu with stunned expressions, which clearly indicated that they were unaware of the latter's meaning. This was all caused by those fellows from the Lei clan. The moment they arrived at the Lei clan, they began to roam all around and purposefully provoke many from our Black Submerged Army to fight with them. In the end, those people could not restrain themselves and were angered. Moreover, they were completely beaten by the other party. How embarrassing. Jiu Hu rubbed his hands together and laughed bitterly. Although I am aware that this is the character of those people from the Lei clan, if we, as the big boss, do not step forward after our subordinates are beaten, it would really hurt them. Hence, the few of us had also intervened and ousted those fellows back. Xiao Yang involuntarily smiled. These people? Isn't it fine that you have ousted them? They are after all guests. Don't tell me that you are planning to give chase? Do you think that father and the clan head of the Lei clan aren't aware of this? However, it is just that they could not be bothered to deal with this matter between the younger generation. Zana rolled her eyes and said. That's right. It is fine after we oust them. However, those fellows refused to admit defeat. They found some reinforcements that defeated Jiu Xing, Jiu Yao, and Jiu Hu's expression was a little depressed. Being defeated in his home ground would more or less hurt his pride. After all, he was one of the 4 great generals of the Black Submerged Army. Isn't it fine to get Big Brother Qing Yang to resolve this matter? He is the first general of the Black Submerged Army, the chief of the whole Black Submerged Army. Big Brother Qing Yang was also defeated by that person. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come to look for you. Jiu Hu hesitated for a moment before he finally laughed bitterly. Oh. Xiao Yang's and Zana's expressions were finally slightly altered after hearing those words. The current Jiu Qing Yang was an elite 2-star Dosheng. There was actually a member of the younger generation from the Lei clan who could defeat him. Could it be that person? Zana suddenly knitted her brow and asked. That's right, Jiu Hu nodded in a depressed manner. He remarked, it is unexpected that he has actually become this strong. Who is that fellow? Xiao Yan asked with some curiosity. Lei Dong, the most dazzling genius within the Lei clan in hundreds of years. He had once stayed within the Lei realm lightning demon pool for 5 years, lasting 1 year longer than the record made by Lei Ying when he was younger. Although part of the reason is because of the grooming by the entire clan, there was no doubt about his ability or talent. It is rumored that the Lei clan is planning to groom him to be the next clan head. Zana mused for a moment before replying. Xiao Yang nodded slightly. It was unexpected that there would be such an outstanding member of the younger generation from within the Lei clan. It seemed that this Lei clan did indeed have a strong foundation. Additionally, the Lei clan has once come to the Jiu Hu clan with a marriage proposal. Moreover, many elders had approved of it at that time. However, this matter was subsequently temporarily shelved aside due to some other matters. The main characters of the marriage, which did not come to be, were Lei Dong and me. Zana spoke in a somewhat helpless manner. Xiao Yan was startled. It was unexpected that this person had actually tried snatching his future wife. Zana, although that fellow greatly covets battle, this place is after all the Jiu Hu clan. If those fellows are allowed to simply return after this, we will likely end up appearing inferior when we meet them in the future. Jiu Hu rubbed his hands together and laughed. Therefore, Zana, can you lend a hand? Boring. A completely meaningless fight for one's pride. Zana glanced at Jiu Hu and spoke indifferently. If you do not wish to intervene, why don't you ask brother-in-law Xiao Yan to help earn some pride for our black submerged army? Although even the clan head is satisfied with brother-in-law Xiao Yan, the brothers from the black submerged army has the numbers. We will ensure that your wedding is extremely lively when the time comes. Jiu Hu was not anxious after hearing Zana's words. He directly turned towards Xiao Yan and smilingly said, "You?" A flush swiftly rose on Zana's pretty face after hearing Jiu Hu's words. She immediately curled his mouth and said, "It seems that your target isn't me but Xiao Yan Ge. Jiu Hu laughed. His eyes were immediately heated as they looked at Xiao Yan. He laughed, "What do you say? Brother Xiao Yan, do you want to experience the ability of the younger generation of the Lei clan? Currently, big brother Qing Yang is delaying them." Xiao Yan involuntarily smiled after being stared at by Jiu Hu's heated eyes. His heart involuntarily felt a special feeling. After having been interacting with those old demons, it seemed as though he had already forgotten about his age. According to his age, he should be currently like Jiu Hu and the rest, who were experiencing a period of time when they were hard-edged and arrogant. "All right. We'll do as you say. Lead the way. Allow me to see just what ability that person who had attempted to snatch my wife has." There was a training ground a short distance outside the main hall of the Jiu realm. This was a place where the black submerged army usually trained. It was also the place where many youths from the Jiu clan loved to come. Hence, this place was quite lively. Additionally, with the arrival of the Lei and Yang clans heads today, many of the outstanding members of the younger generation from both clans had also arrived. These young people did not join the so-called important matters. Hence, they had all gathered in this place. It was inevitable for youths to be a little impulsive. This was especially when these youths from the ancient clans met. At this moment, there was a densely packed black mass of people gathered on the training ground. Most of these people were wearing black armors. They were the renowned black submerged army of the Jiu clan. Their overall fighting strength was quite powerful. At the very least, with the exception of the Hun clan, none of the other two clans could beat the black submerged army in terms of overall strength. Being able to become a member of the black submerged army was the hope in the hearts of many of the younger generation of the Jiu clan. Moreover, if one could stand out from amongst them, it would be possible to be promoted to the commander position. That position meant great fame within the Jiu clan. Hence, the aim of many clan members since young was the black submerged army. The training ground was completely surrounded by the black-armored black submerged army warriors. However, their eyes were currently containing a trace of anger as they looked at the open ground. There were over a dozen young figures standing proudly with a haughty aura at that spot. A flashing lightning symbol was present on their heads. It was the clan symbol of the Lei clan. It seems that the black submerged army of the Jiu clan is not as strong as the rumors claim. Someone had even told me to interact with all of you before I have come. A man present on the open ground was chewing grass in his mouth. His smiling manner appeared frivolous. However, only those who had seen him attack understood that this fellow might appear like a young and idle person, but he was quite strong. There were a couple of figures standing in front of the man. Moreover, all of them had familiar faces. Other than Jiu Yang and the two other generals, Ling Quan and the few black submerged army commanders were also present. However, their expressions were currently a little ugly. Lei Ying, stop your nonsense. I will accompany you if you wish to fight. We will fight however you want. Jiu Xing, who was one of the four great generals, spoke in a deep voice. He frowned slightly in the face of the somewhat ear-piercing provocation. What fun is there to fight with a big block like you? Earlier, even your black submerged army first general, Jiu Yang, had lost to big brother Lei Dong. It seems that the younger generation of my Lei clan is even stronger than that of the Jiu clan. The man called Lei Ying smilingly said. Lei Ying, you should stop using this glib of your tongue. The silver-clothed man standing in front of Lei Ying suddenly smiled and shook his head. He immediately cupped his hands together towards Jiu Yang and laughed. I'm really sorry, this fellow has always been straightforward. Jiu Yang frowned upon hearing these words. The manner in which this was spoken. Kai, the strongest person amongst the younger generation of my Jiu clan is Miss Sun Er. If you really wish for a challenge, you can go to Miss Sun Er and have a try. The commander of the black submerged army involuntarily opened his mouth and laughed coldly. Ha ha, Sun Er ha. The silver-clothed Lei Dong smiled slightly upon hearing this. There was an unknown feeling within his eyes as he said, I have long since heard of Miss Sun Er. It is a must for me to meet her during this trip to the Jiu clan. Jiu Hu had escaped earlier. He should have gone to find her, right? The expressions of those commanders from the black submerged army had a change in expression after seeing that the eyes of this person was so sharp. Ha ha, big brother Lei Dong, it is rumored that both you and Zana had nearly gotten married back then. Coincidentally, the clan head is present. Why don't you ask him to mention about it? With your current achievement, just who is not worthy of the other? Lei Ying laughed. The expressions of Jiu Yuan and the others involuntarily sunk after hearing these words. There were many people amongst the younger generation of the Jiu clan who felt some infatuation towards Sun Er. Although Xiao Yan had currently caught her heart, Sun Er was ultimately still a bright pearl within the Jiu clan. How could others tease her in such a manner? These people from the Lei clan are really still such a headache. A couple of figures were watching the show on the training ground from a high platform at the eastern side. They had a fire symbol on their foreheads. Clearly, they were members of the Yang clan. The one standing in the leader's spot had a familiar face. It was Huoxian, whom Xiao Yan had met a couple of times before. Beside him was the veiled-faced lady named Huoye, who possessed the red lotus flame. Lei Dong had indeed improved greatly during these years. It looks like the Lei clan has put in a great amount of effort. Given his achievement, there is indeed nothing wrong to groom him as the next clan head. However, there is still a need to hone his character. Huoye swept her eyes across the training ground as she whispered. Ha ha, what is the point of putting in any effort? It is not as though you do not know who Zana is fond of. Moreover, that fellow is coincidentally also in the Jiu realm. Huoxian smiled and spoke gloatingly. If he comes out, it is likely that these fellows from the Lei clan will be in for trouble. Xiao Yan he. Huoye was slightly startled upon hearing this. She softly said, it is rumored that the chief of the Hall of Soul had been defeated in his hands. I wonder if this is true. It is likely true. Before we have come, the clan head had told me to be a little closer to Xiao Yan. This is the only time I have seen the clan head holding a young person in such high regard. Han Xian replied. Oh. Huoye's brow was lifted. A solemn expression flashed across her eyes. The few commanders of the black submerged army on the training ground had become a little furious because of Lei Ying's words while Huoxian and Huoye were chatting. Their expressions became cold. They were unable to control themselves and were about to attack when First Commander Jiu Shen at the side extended his hand to stop them. His eyes turned towards Lei Yu and spoke with a deep meaning in his words. Lei Yun, sometimes, being obtrusive is not a good thing. Be careful of luring trouble with your words. Oh? Is that so? Lei Yun smiled and spoke in a non-committal manner upon hearing this. I think that should be the case. A soft laughter suddenly resounded over the training ground after Lei Ying's word sounded. Immediately, the many pairs of eyes present were turned. One could see three figures appearing on the tall stage at the north of the training ground out of the blue. These people were looking down at the training ground. Zun'er, Xiao Yan, Jiu Hu and the rest were startled upon seeing two of the three figures. This must be Miss Zun'er from the Jiu clan. She is indeed extremely beautiful and is worthy of big brother Lei Dong. The many pairs of eyes from the Lei clan paused on Zun'er immediately. A surprise flashed across their eyes. After which, Lei Ying could not help but open his mouth to speak. Before he could finish speaking, however, he was suddenly stopped by Lei Dong beside him. Big brother Lei Dong. Lei Ying was startled after he was stopped by Lei Dong. He turned his head doubtfully, only to discover that Lei Dong was solemnly staring at a black-clothed young man beside Zun'er. If I guess correctly, this friend should be Xiao Yan from the Xiao clan, right? Lei Dong's eyes stared directly at Xiao Yan. His grave eyes contained some vague excitement in them. Xiao Yan? Lei Ying's expression changed upon hearing this name. He involuntarily exclaimed, "That Xiao Yan who is rumored to have defeated Han Miesheng." Xiao Yan calmly smiled as he stood on the tall stage and nodded. "Kai, this brat is even more arrogant than us. What is there to be proud about defeating Han Miesheng? The other party might have purposefully allowed him to win." The usually proud members of the Lei clan felt some displeasure after seeing this manner of Xiao Yan. They began to mutter softly. Although their voices were soft, it still spread. No one knew if they had done so purposefully or accidentally. Zun'er frowned slightly as she stood on the tall stage. Her pretty face revealed a chillness. She was just about to speak when Xiao Yan waved his hand. He stepped forward and laughed softly. "I heard that the few of you are here to spar and have fun. May I know if I can also join in the fun? Are you here to help them get back at us? However, you aren't from the Jiu clan, you?" Lei Dong said. His face twitched after seeing that Xiao Yan was showing signs of being about to stand up for the Jiu clan. Brother Xiao Yan is the husband-to-be of Zun'er. He can be considered a member of our Jiu clan. Jiu Yang spoke in a faint voice. The relationship between Xiao Yan and Zun'er was widely known within the Jiu clan. Moreover, with Xiao Yan's current strength, even the clan head had accepted it. This matter was basically decided and no one could change the decision. Oh! Lei Dong suddenly frowned upon hearing this. He immediately licked his lips. A black lightning arc flashed across his eyes as he said, "Since Brother Xiao Yan is interested, please join us." Black lightning suddenly surged out from within Lei Dong's body after his final word sounded. A crackling lightning lingered around his body as an unusually wild and violent aura spread, causing the expressions of many to change. I wonder how Xiao Yan would deal with that thing. Jiu Yang and the others stared intently at the black lightning lingering around Lei Dong's body. Earlier, they had been defeated by this frightening black lightning. The offensive strength of this black lightning was extremely great. Even their defenses were easily broken through upon contact. Black demon lightning, huh? A surprise flashed across Xiao Yan's eyes as he looked at the familiar black lightning on Lei Dong's body. It was unexpected that the latter was actually able to control the black demon lightning. It was likely that its combat ability was also quite great. No wonder he was able to defeat Jiu Yang and the others. However, this did not pose much of a threat towards Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan's body moved in front of the many pairs of eyes. He directly appeared in front of Lei Dong. His eyes swept over the dozen members of the Lei clan. After which, he shifted his legs and laughed in front of the many stunned pairs of eyes. "There is not much time. Why don't all of you attack together?" Xiao Yan's words had undoubtedly stirred an uproar in this place. Soon after, many warriors from the Black Submerged Army cheered in unison. On the other hand, those members of the Lei clan had ugly expressions. This was the first time that they had been looked down upon. "Humph, Xiao Yan, you should not act overly arrogantly. Lei Ying's smiling face had also disappeared while he cried out loud. There are times when trying to win with words is not good. Xiao Yan smiled slightly. His expression was calm and without ripple. He had also clearly heard what Lei Ying had said earlier. Although he did not wish to find fault with the latter, his heart involuntarily felt some displeasure at him making fun of Sun Er. Moreover, he also understood in his heart that if he wished to get these wild people to obediently shut their mouths, he would need some brutal tactics. Lei Dong frowned tightly. He looked at the black-clothed young man in front of him and vaguely felt a sense of danger within his heart. Other people might think that Xiao Yan defeating Han Mieshan was merely rumors, but he clearly understood in his heart that this was indeed the truth. Moreover, he even knew that Han Mieshan did not hold back even a little. Instead, he had been defeated after using all of his strength. He had once heard the clan head casually mention that the strongest person from the younger generation in the Dochi continent was definitely Xiao Yan from the Xiao clan. Lei Dong would never forget the soft sigh in the tone of Lei Ying as he uttered these words. Such a person had actually appeared in the Xiao clan, which had declined. This really caused one to feel a great disbelief. Lei Dong was someone who desired battles. In order to train, he was able to endure for 5 years within the demon lightning pool without any news and suffered the bitterness from having bitten by tens of thousands of lightning during this period of time. This, along with the many resources that the Lei clan had used to groom him, enabled him to possess his current achievement. From the bottom of his heart, he was extremely unwilling to admit that his achievement could not even be compared with someone from a declined clan. Since Brother Xiao Yang has made such a request, Lei Yun, all of you should just listen to him. Lei Dong slowly exhaled and spoke in an indifferent voice. Understood. The expressions of Lei Yun and the others sunk upon hearing these words. They immediately smiled coldly and agreed. With a sudden step forward, the auras from the 10 of them suddenly soared to the peak. Lei Yun's aura was the strongest amongst them. It had actually reached the high-level Banshan class. The remaining were mostly at the 9-star Dozun class. The expressions of many present were slightly altered after these 10 ferocious auras surged. It was likely a little troublesome to deal with the combination of these 10 people. Xiao Yang, allow my Lei clan to see if those rumors are true. Lei Yun's boldness had once again rose after the aura surged. A low cry was emitted. The 10 of time rushed out almost simultaneously and they cooperated perfectly with each other. The 10 individuals separated with lightning-like speed and surrounded Xiao Yang. Their expressions were grave as they quickly changed the seal formed by their hands. 10 lightning pillars, which were 1,000 feet large, immediately rose. They quickly turned into 10 meandering lightning dragons that were roaring furiously. Lightning dragon slaughter. The expressions of the 10 individuals hardened as the lightning dragon meandered. All of them whistled downwards at the same time. A rumbling thunder roar resounded continuously. Lei Yun and the others were no fool. They understood Xiao Yang's strength. Hence, all of them had used their strongest attack together. The strength when 10 of them joined hands was quite great. Silver light flashed in the sky. Immediately, a lightning glow surged in front of the many pairs of eyes. The 10 lightning dragons were accompanied by ferocious roars as they violently collided onto Xiao Yang below. Bang! Energy ripples spread from the point of collision. The tough ground immediately burst apart, covering the place with dust. We've hit. Many pairs of eyes were stunned as they watched this scene. Earlier, Xiao Yang did not even appear to have dodged. The dust over the training ground slowly settled and Xiao Yan once again appeared in everyone's sight. However, he was still wearing his black clothes and standing straight. There was not even the slightest injury on him. Even the ground with 10 feet from him appeared undamaged, looking completely different from the mess in the other areas. How is this possible? The expressions of Lei Yun's group immediately became pale as they looked at Xiao Yang, who did not even take a step back. Immediately, a deep feeling of helplessness rose from them. They were actually this weak in the eyes of the other party. Your attack is still passable. The entire area was completely silent. Xiao Yang merely smiled slightly. He did not even look at Lei Yun's group. His eyes turned towards Lei Dong before extending his hand and laughed, "After you." Bang! Lei Dong's face was so grave that it could not be even more serious. That casual manner of Xiao Yan caused him to feel a great amount of pressure. However, he was also a decisive individual. His body rushed forward like lightning the moment Xiao Yan's laughter sounded. He clenched his hand. A black lightning rapidly surged over his arm. Finally, it swiftly agglomerated into a long black spear in his hands. Lightning arcs leaped over the body of the spear. Lei Dong was extremely quick. He appeared in front of Xiao Yan in almost the blink of an eye. The spear shadows danced immediately. Sharp spear winds directly covered the fatal spots around his body. A trace of extremely dark black lightning arc appeared in a partially visible manner. If it came into contact with it, a bloody hole would be formed even on the body of a 3-star elite Dosheng. Everyone outside the battleground held their breath as they looked at the continuous stream of spear shadows, which did not allow one to catch a breather. They were really unable to imagine just how they would deal with such rapid attacks if they were in Xiao Yan's place. This Lei Dong does indeed have some ability. Jiu Yang and the others looked at this scene. They involuntarily nodded. Even if it was him, it would likely be difficult for him to endure for a long time. Although this person was a little arrogant, he did have the capital to do so. However, this ability was perhaps not worth mentioning in front of Xiao Yan. Lei Dong's spear doesn't appear to be able to touch Xiao Yan. Jiu Hu looked at the battleground and suddenly exclaimed with shock. Lei Dong was rumored to possess the strength of an advanced 3-star Dosheng. Adding the mutated lightning Do Chi on his body, his attack could be comparable to a 4-star Dosheng. However, such a strength was actually unable to even touch Xiao Yan's body. Just what level has the latter reached? Jiu Yang and the rest by the side nodded their heads. They exchanged glances and were able to see a shock in the other party's eyes. This was especially the case for Jiu Yao, who had once exchanged blows with Xiao Yan. He had ended up laughing continuously. When Xiao Yan had first arrived at the Jiu clan, he still needed to fight with all his strength in order to narrowly beat Jiu Yao. Now, however, the gap between the two of them had been endlessly widened. Since even those from around were able to see the situation, Lei Dong, who was participating in the battle, had naturally also detected this. The more he fought, the more frightened he was. Xiao Yan in front of him was just like a black hole. Regardless of how sharp his attacks were, they were quietly devoured by Xiao Yan. None of them even damaged the latter. Demon lightning descend. Lei Dong's expression was tensed. Suddenly, a ruthlessness flashed across his eyes. The sharp spear shadows in the sky suddenly paused. One could see him bite his tongue. Blood shot out. There was actually black lightning arcs flashing within the blood. The blood quickly landed on the tip of the spear and the tip of the spear quickly dimmed. Soon after, Lei Dong's spear trembled. His speed was suddenly raised to the limit as he pierced towards Xiao Yan's throat with lightning-like speed. How fast? Lei Dong suddenly raised his speed, causing the expressions of many to change. Even someone as strong as Jiu Yang and the rest could only see a black light flash. The contact merely lasted for only a moment. Everyone had sensed a black light flashed in their eyes and a soft sound appeared. Their eyes hurriedly glanced over, only to see Lei Dong's spear being heavily pierced onto Xiao Yan's wide palm. However, those sharp-eyed individuals could discover that the tip of Lei Dong's spear continued to be half an inch from Xiao Yan's palm. Regardless of how wildly Lei Dong activated his Do Chi, he was unable to advance even a little. Lei Dong's full-force attack was actually received by Xiao Yan's palm. Bang! Lei Dong's palm was suddenly smashed onto the spear as he clenched his teeth. Black lightning abruptly surged. In an instant, it charged onto Xiao Yan's arm. Before Lei Dong could rejoice, however, that black lightning quickly dimmed. It was as though there was something being devoured. A familiar taste. Xiao Yan smiled slightly as he devoured the black demon lightning that had invaded his body. He suddenly grabbed with his hand and the long spear in Lei Dong's hand exploded apart. he immediately stepped forward and approached the latter's body in a ghost-like fashion. The gentle palm randomly landed on the latter's chest. His palm shook and everyone saw Lei Dong miserably flying backwards. "Thank you for the victory." Xiao Yan smiled and said after pushing Lei Dong back with a palm. The rate at which the battle came to an end caused one to be stunned. Within a short few minutes, Lei Dong's group was easily defeated in Xiao Yan's hands. Everyone in the battleground had become quiet for a moment due to this. Soon after, the many black submerged army warriors began to cheer. The noise was like thunder, which resounded over the square. Bang! Lei Dong fell miserably on the ground amidst the deafening cheer. He clenched his teeth and was just about to attack when a thunder-like laughter suddenly sounded from nowhere. "Ha ha, what an excellent little fellow from the Xiao clan. These little brats does indeed have a great gap compared to you. However, I have become a little itchy-handed after watching this. May I know if you are bold enough to receive a strike from me? The clan head of the Lei clan. This old fellow really doesn't care about his seniority." Jiu Hu, Zana, and the others immediately had a change in expression upon hearing this loud laughter. They did not expect that this battle-crazy old man who biasly sided with his kin would actually be unable to resist appearing. It seemed that Xiao Yan defeating these younger generation of the Lei clan by himself had caused him to be unable to sit still. This sudden scene also caused Xiao Yan to frown slightly. He did not expect that this old fellow would actually show himself in this matter between younger generation. "Relax, little fellow Xiao Yan. This elderly self will only use 50% of my strength. What do you say?" Lei Ying's loud laughter once again sounded as Xiao Yan frowned. Xiao Yan inhaled a deep breath after seeing this old man pressing him. Without any unnecessary words, he cupped his hands together and cried out in a deep voice. "Xiao Yan from the Xiao clan will seek advice from you. This video will end here.